Hey everyone, welcome back to the second video in my Uncovered series. In my other video, I talked about how Columbia Records has been mistreating Little Mix for years. If you're interested, please check that video out, and if there's a topic that you want me to look at, comment it down below. It can be about any artist, not just Little Mix. In today's video, I will be talking about the record label Syco Music. It is a record label that was founded in 2002 by Simon Cowell. It is a record label that is mostly seen with artists who have been discovered on any of the Got Talent shows. In this video, I will be focusing on how the label has been mistreating the artists signed to it. I will only be brushing the surface to get as much information in as possible, so if you would like a more in-depth video focusing on a specific artist like One Direction, Fifth Harmony, or Little Mix, comment them down below and I will make one. To start off, I'm going to show everyone who has been signed to the label. I'm not sure how accurate this list is, but it's the most updated list I could find. The majority of these artists are from one of the talent shows, most of them coming from X Factor UK, X Factor USA, Britain's Got Talent, America's Got Talent, and one from X Factor the band. It's expected for most of the artists to be from one of those talent shows, since Simon Cowell also runs those shows, meaning that the prize for winning any of the X Factor shows is a recording contract with Syco Music. These are the amount of artists that have been dropped from the label. Most have been due to their songs not reaching high on the charts, but a few were for undefined reasons. When I looked into all the artists that left willingly, there were lots of consistent problems. Most have been due to not having creative freedom when it comes to their image and music. Lots of artists have said that the label was too controlling and intentionally sabotaging them. Starting off with bands from X Factor, One Direction made the decision to leave the label after the band chose to go their separate ways back in 2016. I thought it was interesting how one member stuck with the label after the split. Louis chose to stay with Syco, but the word was out that he decided to switch labels in July of this year. I'm not surprised, however, that the other members chose a different label. They said that Simon gave them no creative freedom and often overworked the band. There was a leak in one of their contracts that stated they weren't allowed to talk negatively about Simon or his label. Simon also jokingly said that One Direction was a nightmare to work with, so it's obvious their relationship became strained over the years. Some of the members opened up about how they suffered major anxiety from the experience, most likely due to how overworked they were. It was also discovered that they had a strict rule about their look. They supposedly weren't allowed to dye their hair or change their style at all, which seems to be pretty true, just looking at how differently Harry Styles dresses now compared to how he did in the band. Moving on to Fifth Harmony, the band also had a strained relationship with Simon. The band seemed to have problems with the label sexualizing the young singers with their styles, choreography, and music concepts. Camila Cabello opened up about being uncomfortable and having to put her foot down a few times. Similar to One Direction, the band was often overworked, causing the members to miss out on important family events. I'm not 100% sure about this information, because most of it is just speculation from fans, but it's believed that Camila was favored by the label and gave her the push to become a solo artist, meaning that they would primarily focus on her music, causing the remaining members of Fifth Harmony to be pushed aside. Little Mix had a similar experience with Syco. The band was formed on X Factor, but unlike the other two groups, they won the show, which earned them a record deal with the label. The band has always stuck up for what they wanted as for image and music, but they still faced problems with creative as well as individual freedom. It's pretty obvious that with their new label, the band has a lot more freedom to release what they want. Their songs have matured, and each member has their own individual products and organizations that they work with. Little Mix also faced the same issue Fifth Harmony did. Similar to how the label tried to establish Camila as a solo artist, Simon tried to do the same thing with Perry. It is said that the label worked with Columbia Records, their American label, to try and make Perry a solo artist by having secret meetings. Perry declined all their offers, and that seems to be when their relationship went from bad to worse. Now, Simon won't even acknowledge them and always speaks negatively about the band.
And have you spoken to the girls about it?
No.
There's no WhatsApp conversation going on there.
No, we don't have WhatsApp.
Moving on to another X Factor winner, Cher Lloyd said that her relationship with the label went stale when she didn't give them complete control of her career. She said the label was way too controlling and ultimately switched 4 years later.
I think he found me, I wouldn't say disobedient.
Difficult?
A little bit, yeah.
Leona Lewis had a similar problem when the label was trying to control what she released as well as what she said in interviews. She said that because she was young, they all had different people telling her what to say and what not to say in interviews. She decided to leave the label when they were forcing her to make a covers-only album instead of an original.
It started off amazing, but towards the end, it just got to a point where I just needed to step out of it. And I do liken it to a relationship, because that's what happens sometimes. You try and hold on for so long when you know you need to let go. And that's kind of what needed to happen.
B. Miller was an artist who also left the label. She claimed her label sabotaged her Sunsets in Space album by releasing it way later than intended. However, it is unclear whether she's talking about Syco or her new label. Something I found interesting was the situation that occurred with Steve Brookstein. Apparently, the label wanted him to run a fake story that he was getting married. When the singer refused, the relationship with him and the label went downhill, causing him to leave altogether. There's so many more artists that have left, however there is no public information behind them. According to a Wikipedia site, which I know isn't the most accurate, there are only 19 artists still signed. But after some research, 3 of those artists have either left or been dropped, bringing the total to 16. It still is unclear who is still signed to the label, especially with what's going on with it now. Their website still shows some of the people who have left, like One Direction and Fifth Harmony, so it's obvious they're trying to get as much out of them as possible. It's interesting to see how different the relationships the current artists have with Simon and the label compared to those who have left. Some of them, like Susan Boyle, absolutely love it and says that she has a ton of creative freedom and has a great relationship with them. It's pretty obvious the remaining members are favorites of Simon and gives them way more freedom. It also justifies the rumors about Camila Cabello. They pushed her out of Fifth Harmony, and now she has a good relationship with the label, unlike the members who stayed in Fifth Harmony. A few of the artists on the label were recent contestants or winners of America's Got Talent, so I thought it was interesting to see how he was going to promote the artists with them being so young and new to the industry. Simon decided to leave the label recently, following Louis' announcement of his departure from the label. He claims he wants to focus on the talent shows since those seem to be more successful. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with the label now that Simon Cowell has quit. Only time will tell, so maybe expect a future video about this to see where it ends up. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If there's a topic I didn't cover, or you just want me to go more in depth with one of the artists, comment them below and I will definitely make a video about it. Hope you liked it, and thanks for watching.